2020, did you know that actually working from home was actually technically illegal? Yeah. Actually, it turns out that there were rules called the Other Service Providers rules, which the telecom ministry had. And it basically said that if you used any telecom service to work from a certain location, you had to take specific permission from the telecom ministry, and you would have to keep an EPA BX machine in your basement in order to use it. You had to tell a plan about how exactly you went about using the telecom system, and so on and so forth. These are outdated laws going back some decades, but they were there. Many of the people in the younger members of the audience may even not have a clue what on earth an EPA BX machine is. But you were supposed to have one in your basement. Now, I happened to discover this purely by chance. You see, when the lockdown was announced in March of 2020, the telecom ministry came up with a notification saying that the OSP requirements would be held in abeyance till the December 2020 in order to allow people to work from home. Now, I'm a suspicious sort of chap. When I look at a notification of this kind, I basically understand what it really means, which is that what the officials are trying to tell you is that in normal times, those outdated requirements actually do apply. That is what that notification actually meant. So I began to dig into this matter. And I very quickly discovered that while the average man on the street may not be being bothered by these notifications, if you happen to be a IT-enabled service or a BPO or some such information technology or telecom using service provider, company, and so on, then you had to really go and grovel in front of the telecom ministry officials. And you can imagine the amount of harassment, rent seeking, and other things that happened as a result of this. So I wrote a report and we began to unwind this. It required 2 rounds of effort, one in November 2020 and then later again in 2021. But we finally got rid of this. And guess what happened? The later NASSCOM did a survey in 2021 to ask from the BPO, IT-enabled software, other sectors, how many of those companies had benefited from the getting rid of this. And it was discovered that 92% of BPO, IT-enabled services had their compliance requirement reduced radically. 92%. 28% of them said that their compliance requirement had gone down 50%. Simple change, dramatic improvement in government efficiency of the economy. Let me give you another example of something that has also already happened. I don't know how many of you have ever attempted a company voluntarily. I'm not talking about insolvency and bankruptcy. I'm talking about shutting down a company voluntarily. 90% of companies that are shut down in any country in any year are usually for voluntary reasons. Somebody was running a company, their kids don't want to run it, so they want to shut it down. There's no, it's not like it's going bankrupt, there's no case against it, there's nothing bad, they just want to shut it down.